Hey guys, it's Paul and I'm back here with an unboxing and review video, product review video. I haven't done one of these in a long time because I haven't bought any new products recently that I've tried out, especially for hiking. But this one I'm rather excited about. It's called the Armaskin anti-blister sock liner. Okay, so I bought it from Amazon, no surprise there. So if this works out, I'm going to recommend that you do the same. And I paid for this on my own. This was not given to me, and so therefore I am, this is a very unbiased review. I'm actually pretty excited about this because I'm going to put these puppies to the test in just a few days in the Grand Canyon. Anybody who's been in the hiking world for a while knows that the Grand Canyon is definitely considered one of the most challenging hikes that you can do in the United States, primarily because you're doing a lot of descending first, and the descent, about 8 miles and 5,000 feet worth of descent, with a lot of shifting around in your shoes, can definitely cause some blistering. So what I'm going to do, by the way, here's what the box looks like. I kind of just tore into it. It's more of an unbagging than an unboxing, but this is what the box looks like. It's called Armaskin anti-blister socks, and recommended and used by endurance runners, extreme athletes, ultra endurance athletes, soldiers, race walkers, hikers, and explorers. So I'm going to give it a try, and a few of the other reviews that I've read have said that what you need to do is actually put it on your feet and then put socks over it. Now, one problem that I've had is that I have real sensitive nerves in my left foot, and I think that foot is actually a little bit bigger than my right foot. So that means when I buy a pair of size 11 shoes, the left shoe or foot is a little bit tighter or more constricted than the right foot. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do this as a sock liner or as the sock itself. But what I'm going to do before I actually go out and try it on the in the Grand Canyon, I'm going to try it on some local trails here where I train near my house, and just give it a shot there, because the last thing you want to do, anybody should ever do, is try out new gear for the first time in a hike like the Grand Canyon. You want to make sure you're fully set with your gear before you go there. So this is what one of the sock liners looks like. It's kind of soft and almost like smooth and silky on the outside. Has some very interesting little seams right here, which I'm gathering that my heel fits right here. Then on the inside, it's kind of like almost like a rubbery type of feel, and I think that's where you get the anti-slip protection there. So I'm going to take a look at the box here, because I have seen you know, people say to use it as a liner rather than as a sock itself. I'm going to see what it says here. Yeah, it says here, wear Armaskin anti-blister socks directly next to the skin underneath your normal socks. Identify the individually contoured left and right socks shown above and enroll onto your foot, ensuring stitching faces outwards with the SI fusion coating next to the skin. So that's what I'm going to do here, and I'll try to demo that, and then also give you a couple of reports from the trail, both the local trail here as I'm testing them out, and then if they work out there and they're comfortable enough, I'll be taking them deep into the Grand Canyon here on my next Grand Canyon. Okay, so it does not say which one is left or right, so you just have to kind of use your smarts here and realize, I realize that the camera's kind of facing backwards, but this kind of shows a kind of a curve going this way. So I'm going to use that for my right foot. That means this one here will be for my left foot, and because of the rubbery sort of surface in here, I'm positive that they're not just going to slide right onto my feet. So I'm going to like try to unroll roll them up a little bit first before I even try to put them on, and then sort of unroll them back onto my foot. All right, so here goes. I've got this one sort of rolled up. I'm going to go ahead and just start slipping it onto my foot. Okay, so now that I have them on, they actually feel pretty good. Now that I've got the, I guess you could call it the tightness spread out a little bit. And then nothing special about these socks. I just find them very comfortable. Puma They're not hiking socks whatsoever, but they're very comfortable. They are mostly cotton, which you know they tend to get a little bit warm when I'm hiking longer distances. But so I'm going to go ahead and put that under there, and I'm trying my left foot first intentionally, just because that's the one that I mentioned I've always had tightness with. Now these hiking shoes that I'm wearing here are definitely well broken in. I've had them for probably 6 months, and in fact I actually bought another pair of shoes recently specifically for the Grand Canyon, and the reason is because these are so broken in that I've actually been feeling a lot more sliding around recently. But what my hope is that with these shoes that are really broken in and putting the Armaskin underneath my sock, it's going to take up just enough space that I neither have the sliding as I'm going downhill, or nor have the constriction that causes that pain with my nerve that I've mentioned that I've had in the past. Just going to repeat with the right foot. And for what it's worth, I did take time to trim my toenails before doing this, because the last thing I wanted to do is spend 40 bucks on a pair of socks or sock liners and rip them open on the first try with sharp toenails. So again, getting that kind of on there. It's a little sticky, but doesn't feel too bad once I've never worn nylon stockings, but I imagine this is kind of what a pair of pantyhose or nylons feels like when you put them on. And then put on the other sock, my main sock that I wear. And get them tightened down. So right now they feel pretty good, I have to say. So my next clip here, I'm going to be out on a trail, and you know, I'll report back as to how they feel to me in the setting on a trail, not the Grand Canyon yet. But again, I'm trying these out ahead of time just to make sure that to me they are going to be doable before I actually take them out to the Grand Canyon. So, but that's going to be the ultimate test. So stick around and see how they work for me. And by the way, I'm going to actually try the reason behind all of this, which may seem a little bit extreme, but back in 2018 I did a rim to rim hike. So that is 26 miles of the Grand Canyon, where you start at the north rim, or you can start at the south rim and go to the north. But I started at the north rim, went south, and I actually wrote a whole blog post that I'll link in the comments. And I'll also drop some just still photos in here. But so here are those images of my blistered feet from my 26-mile hike in the Grand Canyon. I definitely have experience with blisters. I know how painful they can be, and I know how debilitating they can be if you're on a 26-mile hike straight through and your feet are all blistered up by the time you get to mile 10. It really makes those last 16 miles pretty bad. So more about that with the pictures that I'll drop in here, and a link to an actual blog post I wrote about the good, the bad, and the ugly of hiking Grand Canyon rim to rim. So that's what I'm trying to prevent, and that's why I was willing to drop the 40 bucks on these sock liners here. And again, I'll come back with you know, quick little updates as to how they feel for me on a local hike and on the hike in the actual Grand Canyon when I get up there in a couple of days. So stay tuned. Okay, so I'm here in the Phoenix Mountains Preserve, and just wanted a quick update on the Armaskins. So far so good. I honestly didn't feel too good about them when I first started off, mainly because my feet kind of started sweating right away, and that was just uncomfortable for me. And in a sense, they almost felt like I had my feet just kind of sitting in mud. But I definitely, you know, feeling how the rubberized material is definitely sticking to my feet really well. And you know, I wear these shoes and sock combo all the time, and I've never had problems with blisters anyway. But again, this whole experience today was just to make sure that I'm going to be able to actually take them out to the Grand Canyon. So I'll definitely be giving a more thorough report from presumably from the bottom of the Grand Canyon. But for now, so far so good. No blisters, but I wouldn't have expected them anyway. And like I said, they feel a little bit squeamish, and I'm not having any of that the nerve issue that I was concerned about. So again, so far so good. Keep it up, Armaskin. Bye for now. Ready for the big reveal on the Armaskin socks here. Although I'm not going to peel them off just yet, and that's because, by the way, I'm down here at Phantom Ranch in the Grand Canyon. But all I'm doing out right now is just switching out the over sock. The only reason I'm not pulling off the Armaskin sock is because they feel kind of wet to the touch, and I just have a feeling they'll be hard to get back on. But in a little bit, I'm going to stop at a creek and take the Armaskins off, rinse my feet, and probably just take them off for good, and I'll do the big rebuild then. So on this hike, it's a 17-mile hike where you start at the top part of the South Rim, hike down to the river on South Kaibab Trail, and then hike back up on Bright Angel. We're at about mile 13 on this hike, and we're approaching what is known as Indian Garden. Notice the lush canopy of trees up here, mostly cottonwoods. There's actually a spring-fed creek that runs through right over there. And what I'm going to do here in a couple of minutes is go soak my feet in the spring and take off these Armaskins and see what my feet look like. At this point in the video, you've already seen the situation I had the last time I did this comparable hike. It was a little bit longer, but pretty much the same elevation change, and not quite the same distance, but just about same kind of terrain. And my feet got beat up pretty bad, so we're gonna see what they look like here. Okay, it is almost time for the big reveal. Did Armaskin pass the test of the Grand Canyon? You're about to find out, and I'm about to find out. All right, the moment we've been waiting for. I'm pulling the Armaskin off. Take a look. I can tell you just from how they feel, my feet definitely are in a lot better shape than what I put in those pictures. Pretty spotless. No blisters on the bottom. Some calluses, but no blisters whatsoever. All the stuff that marks there, that's actually just trail dirt. So I'm gonna rinse that off. That's kind of the whole point here, is just to get my feet cleaned off. So yeah, I would have to say the Armaskin passed the test of the Grand Canyon, and I think it was money well spent. When these get all worn out, I'll probably buy another pair. So there you go. 2 thumbs up for Armaskin. And that is all for this segment of AZ Wonders product test. And I've still got about 4 more miles to hike up to get myself up to the top there. So talk to y'all later. Bye now.